need the top, can the Chris stop program?
Mr. Pop.
Take it from the top.
And I'm the one and only Chris Top, broadcasting live from our lavish home studio here in sunny Clarksville, Tennessee, with an ocean view. How in the heck are you doing, world?
I am the one and only Alley Top, broadcasting alongside the man, the myth, the legend, the radio god, the man you wish you could be but will never be, Chris freaking Top.
Is that even necessary?
It is all the way necessary.
Oh my gosh, you are so loud.
I know.
I accidentally turned you up too loud, and
then
it
you
like
had to turn
blew
it
my
down,
eardrum.
didn't you?
I did have to turn it down, like way down, because it's so loud. I should like play with it, like go up and down with it. And,
That would be kind of fun.
It might be.
Yeah.
Probably
I gotta
not.
give a shout out to Dan because
Dan.
he was the first one to know that WABA stands for working on being awesome.
He was the very first one to know.
He went boom, answered it.
He was all over it.
My cousin answered it wrong, and I was like, no.
Yeah?
No.
What kind of cousin is that? What kind of cousin are you?
Lame.
Yeah, but Dan's been listening to the show for 5 or 6 or 7 years, something like that, I think. Mm-hmm. Somewhere in there.
Something like that. Yeah.
I don't know. He needs to probably get a life if he's listening to the show that long.
What? We're not entertaining enough? Are you not entertained?
That's a horrible impression.
Are you not entertained?
That's so bad. That is so bad.
For Sparta!
All right, okay, stop. So, you wrote a blog recently about boxing.
Yeah!
Yeah?
I did write a blog about boxing.
Muhammad Ali.
That's what I've been called right now in the gym.
Yeah? Is that going to be your new nickname?
I hope not, because if I get announced to the ring like that,
Yeah.
people would be mad. They'd be like, who is this white girl?
Fly like a bee, sting like a butterfly.
That's what I say on Facebook.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to be careful about what I say on Facebook. But I did write a blog on boxing because I've started boxing. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've announced this on the Chris Rap program yet.
I don't know.
But I've started boxing, and I'm obsessed. It was love at first punch.
Yep.
And, I wrote about it and kind of like my new experience with it and everything. And then the gym that I go to, American Pride, they shared it on their page today.
That's
and
pretty good. You're big time now.
Fangirled.
Yeah.
I won't lie. I was like, thank you guys. And then they were saying that I was killing it, and yeah.
So you're all pumped and ready for practice tonight.
I'm so pumped and ready for practice tonight.
Yeah.
That's why I was like,
do you call it practice or training? Or either way, I guess.
Everybody calls it everything different. Like, it's practice, it's class, it's training, it's everything. But I was sitting there.
I'm here to train, fools.
Fools?
Yeah, you do it like that.
Maybe not. I was sitting there looking at all these muffins, and I was like, man, I wish I could pig out on these muffins, but I can't practice tonight.
I mean, you'll burn it all off. You could probably eat several muffins and it'll be gone.
I don't want to be like, oh, I can't do this. I ate too many muffins.
Sorry, Coach, I can't throw any more punches because I ate too many muffins.
Somebody said that they couldn't. I think it was my first day. They were like, I ate too many cookies, Coach.
Wow.
Yeah,
don't tell your box. It's like telling your drill sergeant that. You just don't do it.
He did, and he did it in front of everybody.
Did he have to do burpees?
He should have had to, but he didn't.
Yeah, you would have made him do burpees?
I would have. I have 10 burpees right now. He did have to do burpees because, if you, stopped at a certain point, then you happened to be the one that had to do the burpees.
Yep. Nobody wants to be that person.
For that, he didn't have to do burpees.
Yeah.
I had to do burpees.
Okay. So, Brina, how are you today?
I'm good.
It is so good to have you here. Finally. You didn't forget about us.
I did not. I just misspelled an email.
That happens, sometimes to the best of us. So you're good. You're good. And you had a nice trip here. So you're about an hour away because you're in Nashville, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So when is your year anniversary for being in Nashville?
I believe it's August. It was August 5th.
Okay.
I knew it was August. I have to check back at the specific date, but we're past August, so
okay. So you just recently had it.
Yes.
Yeah. So happy anniversary. And you had a taco party.
Yes.
Yeah. So is that something they do for everybody's anniversary or just yours?
It was my friends Ty, Sean, and Emily Ann.
Yep.
They're my songwriting group, and we all this was all of our first years. So
okay.
We had our. I'm part of a group we meet every week, and we had that, and we were talking hey, we all are coming up on 1 year. We should do something to celebrate.
That's a big deal, being in Nashville for a year, because you are in the company with the best musicians and songwriters in the whole world, And I think for a lot of people, that's kind of intimidating. So it's like, they spend a couple of months here and they're like, I've had enough of this. I'm going back home.
Then they quit.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. It's like a threshold almost. Like if you can make it a year, that is like a milestone. And all milestones are important, but
sure.
You get tested definitely, and I was definitely tested, and I think the other two were as well. But we made it through, and we want to celebrate. So we made some delicious tacos.
Nice. So how many people are in the group?
It actually varies. So there's it's on Facebook, and there's got like 1,000 people in it, and then different people when they can come, and it's every Monday night. And
okay,
so
is
sometimes
it something
you have
that you
a full room.
try to do like every Monday, or do you have to miss some Mondays? Or
sometimes I have to miss because I have like other obligations. Maybe I have a show or I'm filming something. But I try to go as much as I can because it's made me such a better writer.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
And
it makes me look forward to Mondays.
You've probably seen a lot of songwriters come and go too in the group. Maybe I guess that have had enough or couldn't
checking
stick
in,
it out.
checking out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know if it's as much as like they couldn't handle it, but I mean, I guess I haven't had that conversation with people. But it's usually they're touring, so they can't come back or stuff like that. But it's kind of like a family vibe, and everyone knows each other.
So cool.
There's snacks. It's definitely
snacks.
I'd be there for the snacks.
Yeah.
Hang out and eat some snacks.
Is there chocolate there?
Sometimes there is. Yeah, it depends on who's hosting.
Do you have to be a songwriter to show up? Can you just like show up for the food?
I think you have to.
See if you can get me in.
I mean, I could try.
I'll fake it. I'll just come up with some ideas, or you can give me some ideas
if you
before I
come
go
with
in.
the song, the first time you can't bring a song, you just observe, and then you come the second time you can bring a song, but you can give feedback. So.
Oh, okay. So I can just come observe the first time. Okay, I got you. So I'm in. I can work this. I can crash like the writers' parties.
Be like, boom, bust through the door. What up, bros?
Yeah, I could try it out. See what happens.
And then you're gonna stick around because you like it so much.
Maybe. You might not want me to stick around though. Okay, so there was something that you wrote that I absolutely adored that you said. So I'm gonna bring this up. But you'd mentioned choosing freedom over security. So tell me what that means to you.
To me, it's just like we talk about fears in life, a lot of people fear failure or fear doing big things, and for me it's the opposite. Like, I'm afraid of regret and I'm afraid of mediocrity.
Yeah.
So when I talk about choosing freedom, backtracking a little bit, developing myself as an artist and like as a brand, when you're coming up with a brand, you're thinking about what your values are and what drives the work that you do. And I was thinking, like, reflecting back at my life, and I've noticed that when I was in positions of like conflict or times where I wasn't happy, it was because my freedom was being limited. So that's just kind of who I've always been. And if I'm given the choice of like, this is a safe route, kind of like, the road less traveled, I'm going to choose the unsafe route that can get me somewhere big versus the safe route where I'll always sit back and wonder what I could have done if I would have tried a little harder or was a little less afraid.
Yeah, and I love that too, because sometimes what's safe now is not always going to be safe then. So then you would really regret it, because then you'd be like, well, now I'm homeless anyway, so like, what's the point?
Exactly. Like, people always talk about how the music industry is so hard. Any job is hard. Like, you can get fired at any job, so why not go for what your heart wants you to do? Why sit back and choose something because it's safe?
Exactly.
And really, the only person that's going to fire you from the music industry is going to be yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm a good employee, so I'm not going to.
So you're stuck with you.
Heck
Yes.
yeah, bro.
For a long time, hopefully. Yeah. And I've been listening to your stuff, so I'm becoming a fan. So I'm hoping you'll stick around for a while, so we can maybe get some more stuff and come and eventually see you live somewhere, for sure. Now, I know you might have something coming up in Clarksville sometime soon. I don't really want to give a whole lot of details because we don't know for sure about that yet. But what else is coming up, like, in the near future? Like, where can I, like, okay, let's make this a two-part question. Like, what's coming up, and then if I want to stalk you a little bit and figure out where you're going to be so we can come see you, like, where do I find that stuff at?
Well, you can find all the information about my shows, performances, new music, new videos coming up on my website, brinakaymusic.com. And if you subscribe to my email list, you can maybe get some of that information and cool behind-the-scenes stuff that not everyone's going to get. So definitely sign up for my email list. But yeah, brinakaymusic.com. I've got, hopefully, that Clarksville show. I know it was being rescheduled. I was actually looking forward to it. So hopefully it's rescheduled soon. But I've got a couple things coming up in October, the 25th and 28th. One, I have to double check where the venue is because it was just something I was talking to online. But the other one is at the Bowery Vault and it's called Songs of Bravery, and it's actually being hosted by some of my fellow songwriter friends from my group.
Oh, nice.
And it's a really cool concept because everyone performing is playing songs they've never performed before. So that's kind of like the bravery part of it. So you'll hear brand new songs from me that I've not played in front of anyone. So definitely come out. It'll be fun.
Oh, so that's going to be like your nerves a little bit are going to be kind of shaky, I guess, huh? Like, or are you just ready for it?
It's exciting to me. I love sharing new stuff. So
well, good. Now, when you first came to Nashville, what was your like first impression when you got here? Were you like, "What have I done?" or were you like just gung ho and ready to go?
Well, I was very nervous at first when I visited because I didn't have a plan B. That's kind of like the way I am. I'm just like, I want to do music. This is Music City. This is where I need to be. But I was definitely nervous, like, oh gosh, like I don't have a plan B. This needs to work, and I need to feel that feeling of like this is where I belong. And at first, I was kind of just anxious.
Yeah.
But I went to the listening room with my family and saw the writers playing, and it was so cool because they just like look like normal people, but like song after incredible song, and I was just like, I got that feeling like, yes, this is it. This is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
So that was
I can
really
just
cool.
see the light in your eyes, and you're just glowing and just love talking about it. I mean, I'm catching a lot of good positive energy from Brina.
Me too.
Are you catching it too, or what?
Yeah, I am. I see it's like your eyes are sparkling like stars. And I know that sounds like cliche.
That's so corny.
I know, but it's like true though. Like your face.
I picture that little emoji with the starry eyes now.
That's you. Like, yes, you're a star. Like, own it.
I love it.
Love it.
Okay, and we kind of talked about this a little bit before we actually went on the air, and I just want to make sure that we get this recorded. Because what's your dream stage?
Sorry. I would definitely say a Memorial Stadium in Nebraska. So I went to college, and I kind of envision like a show where like I get like Herbie Husker to come out and like do a song with me, and everyone saying "Go Big Red." So that's kind of,
you would feel like you've hit that pinnacle if you can make it back there and actually perform.
Yeah, I think pinnacle for me would be an all stadium tour.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
so
also Soldier Field in Chicago would be, and Wrigley.
That would be cool.
Wrigley would be cool too.
So when you're on your tour and you make it back around to Nissan Stadium, and that little Nissan Stadium, you know, when you make it there, you have to promise us backstage passes.
Oh, of course.
So we're done. We're good.
Oh, yeah.
We're cool. See, she brought that up because I knew that was going to be an easy one because she brought that up before.
That's an easy one.
Because what you said was really cool, and I think a lot of independent artists feel this way, but I kind of wonder sometimes if when they do make it, if they forget. You know, because like
because they're so focused on like a boom, you made it, that like that's overwhelming, and they forget like those steps that took them there.
Yeah, but Brina brought this up. She said, you know, that she didn't want to forget the people that were there along the way and helped her out, and I think that's a really cool and humble thing to say for somebody.
So too.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah, but anyway, we need to start playing some music,
right?
Because I want to make sure we get them all in. But the first one that we're going to play, it's called Horizon. And you want to tell me a little bit about it, like where it came from, like what it's about, or what the inspiration was, stuff like that.
So this is the first one that I actually had produced out of Nashville, and that's kind of its own story. But about the song, I was flying home to visit family. I take the early flights out because I fly standby. My dad works for United Airlines, so we fly standby to get to where we're going, so I never really buy plane tickets. But for flying standby, you're looking for an empty flight, so I go super early in the morning before the sun is up so I can hopefully get on the flight, and thankfully I did. And I was looking out the window as we were taking off, and the sun was like, it was rising, and it was the prettiest thing I've ever seen over Tennessee because all the green and the hills, and I was like just kind of in awe of this gorgeous sunset. And then I look around, and no one else is seeing it, and it made me so sad.
What were they seeing?
They just weren't, windows were shut. People were like sleeping or on their phones, just like not taking it in, this incredible thing. So being artist me, I was like taking this scene in and feeling all these feelings about that, and kind of thinking about air travel in general, how people make it such a horrible thing. Like you hear everyone's horror stories from the airport, and it's like, you're soaring through the air like a bird. Like it's the most amazing, incredible thing. Like, why are we taking this for granted? And then moving that on further into life in general.
Yeah, everybody's scared they're going to get dragged off a plane or like searched in front of everybody. And yeah, I agree.
But at the same time, it's like you're flying.
Yes.
That's crazy. You can get to like another state in an hour. That used to take like days upon days in your little wagon. Like it's incredible. So it's kind of just, it starts with air travel and then it kind of morphs into like a metaphor for life itself.
That's
so.
lit, bruh.
Yeah, it is lit.
That's lit, bruh.
Yeah. You know, I think that's what separates people like you from people like from normal people. Because you take the time to notice things like that and appreciate stuff like that, and you sort of create your own therapy, like with your songwriting and with just seeing a sunset or a sunrise, and then you've got other people that are so caught up, like in day-to-day life, paying bills and worrying about whatever they worry about. So you're kind of their escape, because when you write songs about that stuff, it kind of I think helps them a little bit. So you're doing a pretty good service, I think. Yeah.
Like
for the world, right?
Yeah. That's kind of what it's all about.
Okay, so I'm going to let you introduce the song, and then I'm going to hit the button, and we'll go.
We'll be quiet. So to say. Oh, okay. This is Horizon by Brina Kay, which is me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign, and you are free to move around the cabin. I'd like to remind you, though, for your safety, please keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you destinate.
All these people searching for signs in the stars they'll never see. Busy people don't understand the world beneath their feet. Magic in the air and no one aware they're caught up in a lie. High above the clouds in the here and now. When I look out at the sky, I can see the horizon, realizing so much is out there I never knew. In the middle of nowhere, I could go there, doing something I never could do. When I'm on the horizon, flying. All these people stuck here together, never felt so alone. Tired people can't fall asleep, their dreams left long ago. Magic in the air and no one aware their time will pass them by. High above the clouds in the here and now. When I look out at the sky, I can see the horizon, realizing so much is out there I never knew. In the middle of nowhere, I could go there, doing something I never could do. When I'm on the horizon, open your eyes, I never knew. Open your eyes, and I can see the horizon, realizing so much is out there I never knew. In the middle of nowhere, I could go there, doing something I never could do. When I'm on the horizon, open your eyes and see. Open your minds and believe. Flying.
And you are absolutely, positively, 100% for sure in the right place. This is the Chris Top program. I got to get used to turning the speaker down.
Right?
I had to take it kind of caught me off guard. What did you think?
Dude, I love it.
Are you just making that up? Did you really? Because she's
I
sitting
really-
right here.
No, I really do.
Are you just
Like,
not trying not to hurt her feelings?
No,
or you
if I like even thought it was mediocre, I would have been like, yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. What's
you
next?
know,
What's the next song?
Yeah, but this was like, it was a perfect marriage of like the instruments and your voice, and they just blended together, and it sounded right, and it took me to like an oasis, and I freaking loved it.
Now, okay, so that's going to really raise the bar, though, for the other
Those
songs.
are headphone songs.
Yeah, are they really?
Yeah.
Well, you need to explain to her what that
Okay,
means.
so I have different like tiers for the songs that I like, And the
Okay.
songs that I don't like aren't even on there because, like, they're just not worth my time. If I don't like a song, I'm not going to be like, hey. But there's listening to it in the car, which is like, okay, this is a fun song, but, like, I wouldn't sit and listen to it on my own time. And then there's the speaker, which I would listen to if an activity was going on.
Gotcha.
And there's, like, headphones, which is, like, when I have my headphones on, you don't, like, look at me, you don't talk to me, like...
That's the truth, too.
I'm in music world. And so, like, that's the song I'll be listening, like, 8 times, because I'll only listen to, like, 8 songs in a row and for, like,
Cool.
a rotation. So
What
those
I
are-
like about
those are
it
up there.
is you told me that your songs are lyrically driven. And for me, that song put me on a plane, and I was excited to be there. Because I could feel it. You know how, like, when you see something beautiful, like a thunderstorm or like a sunrise, or it gives you that feeling right there in your chest. Yes. That's what I got from that song.
Yes, me
I mean,
too.
I could, you painted a beautiful picture of the horizon
Aw.
in that song. Yeah.
That means a lot to me. And, my producer, Mike Anderson, played a huge role in that. We, like, co-wrote that one together, actually. And he was, like, I don't think it would have become what it became without him. And actually, he did that song for me free of charge when I first came here and
Yes,
moved
that's
here.
so nice.
Kind of like as a get-to-know-you kind of song. And, he ended up producing my other songs, respectively, after that because it turned out so well. But definitely got to give him some props for that, too.
Nice. And his name's what again?
Mike Anderson.
So if somebody wants to look him up, can they just look him up? Does he have a website?
Yeah, Mike produces vocals, and you should definitely interview him too because he's
Yeah.
got a lot of cool stuff going on. He has an artist kind of name persona, Tommy Embers, and he's doing a music project called The Continuous. So that's definitely something really cool to check out.
Yeah, definitely.
Heck
We'll check that
yeah.
out. Yeah.
But it was
Yeah.
really fun because, like, I actually recorded a lot of sounds while I was traveling, and we try to incorporate as many, like, real airplane sounds into the song as possible. So if you listen really closely, you can hear, like, something sounds like a airplane window opening and shutting, and there's a...
So those were legit sounds that you recorded. You just didn't rip them off of YouTube or something.
Was the ding dong real?
Yeah.
The ding dong sound?
That wasn't one I recorded in a plane, but that was, like, one that we found.
okay.
But if you actually listen to the song on the plane, it's kind of funny. It's like you talk about headphone songs, you have it in your headphones. That first part where it's the pilot talking, it sounds like it's actually the pilot talking. And a couple of
So
times,
you wouldn't realize it was part of the song.
yeah, well, when I've flown and listened to it, I like to listen to it while I'm flying because
Yeah.
it's kind of like I'm in my own movie and it's fun.
That is so cool.
But the first couple times I was like, wait, is that like the pilot or is that? And I was like, oh no, hey. And then I was like, hey, we did that. Good job, Mike.
So you're just super excited, I guess, about what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Yeah.
I love that. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine.
I love that you're all about, like, the people that are on your team because, like, with anything, it takes, like, a team effort to get you there and to get themselves and their dreams there. It's like teamwork really makes the dream work, and I love that you're not just like, oh, yes, I'm so great, but you're like, I got a team, bro, and they're lit, and I love that. Hashtag respect.
How hard is it for you? Like, because I know you probably have these songs kind of sitting around for a while when you're done with them. Like, how hard is it for you to sit on them for a month or two before you're able to release them?
It is really hard because I get really excited, especially after we've recorded them. Because I think for me the recording is the fun part because when I'm just me and have an acoustic guitar, like that's one thing. But when we're in the studio, I can have harmonies and background vocals, and it really brings it to life in a way that I love. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely impatient, and I just want it out there.
Now, if you ever like just want to let somebody hear it, like your next one that comes out before you can just send it to me if you
Okay.
want.
Are you
Yeah,
gonna
I
leak
won't
it?
share it. I won't
Okay.
share it with anybody. I'll keep it top secret.
All right.
Yeah. See, it just makes us feel cool.
All right. Well, maybe
Yeah.
I will.
Keeps-
I usually
like, keeps us in the loop.
Yeah, you're gonna be in my circle.
Right.
It's usually like my mom I show first, or like
Yeah.
my best friends from like
I mean, you can still show it to your mom first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But then like everybody else should be like, I got to show it to Chris.
Okay.
Okay. So we're good?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you sign up for
Yes.
my mailing list, you might get sneak peeks of things
We will.
too. Anyone
We
who's
definitely
listening.
will. We're going to sign up for it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So we just go to your website and then click on your mailing list there.
Yeah,
You
it's
just
at
sign
the
up?
bottom
Yeah.
of each page. I kind of made it really obnoxious so people wouldn't miss it.
Right.
So
So we'll do that today. I'll do it today. I'll make sure
Yay.
we're signed up on Brenna's mailing list.
Bada bing,
Yeah.
bada bang,
So
bada boom.
what's your favorite social network? Like, where's the best place for people to like get a hold of you and ask you like silly questions?
I think the one I use the most is probably Twitter, just because it kind of depends on what you're...
Nobody says that.
I know.
So you're a Twitter person.
Yeah, Instagram is cool, but I feel like it depends on what you want to see. If you want to see me and like looking great and pictures and stuff like that, and I have like my Instagram story, I do that daily. So you can see that. But Twitter, if I just have like a random thought about things, like I'll put it on Twitter.
Yeah.
So, but I'm everywhere. I have a advertising PR degree, so I know like it's important
so
to be on all of them. But yeah, if you want to know my random like live tweeting TV shows that I'm watching, even though like
Right.
I'm like behind, I'll still share my random thoughts. But if you want more of a visual experience, probably Instagram.
Yeah. Okay. And Facebook? Do you even use that at all now, or?
I do. I pretty
Yeah.
much post things on there that I would post on my other channels.
Yeah.
I actually have a blog that I post weekly.
Yes, girl, get it.
And so that I'll share the link to that on Facebook. But that's kind of just like my, almost like my diary in a way of like my story here. And so if you want to know like the hard times, the fun times, the times where I'm confused, I've written it all down kind of to look back on. Because I'm super nostalgic.
Sure.
And like I like to document everything, but you'll definitely find for example, you'll find a full description of like the meaning of Horizon and how that all came to be, stuff like that. So definitely check that out too on brinakaymusic.com.
Yeah, and it's cool that you're documenting that stuff because it's going to be super important for you later on in life when you look back at stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so the next song we're going to play, it's called Rome. So tell me about Rome.
So Rome, the writing in Rome actually started out as a series of sad poems. When I first moved here, I was going through a lot. I quickly realized that adulthood has no welcome week. You tend to think, and I think in pop culture or whatever, like we show going off to college, like that's your big transitional moment in life, and you don't talk about as much as what happens after. And I think it was I'd gone away to school, didn't know a single person, went out to Nebraska, so I was like, I've done this already, no big deal, I got that. But then I'm just left in this brand new state, no one, not knowing a single person in my apartment that was empty and sad, and just kind of trying to get my life started, and a lot of things went wrong, and I was, doubting myself and feeling sad. So it started off as just sad poems, and I wasn't even writing music because I was just going through all that. And then as things started to get better, I oftentimes go back to my notebook and look at things that I've written before for inspiration, and I came across, some of these lines, but I was feeling I was in a better place, so I kind of give it a positive spin.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, and I think this one's my favorite.
Oh, really?
I think. I mean, after listening to
I don't know
Horizon
how it can
again.
get much better than Horizon.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see what you think.
We'll see.
When we play it.
We'll see.
So, okay. So you are absolutely, positively in the right place. This is the Chris Top program. This is Brina Kay, Rome. Here we go.
I've been told my crazy dream might get the best of me. I've been told that getting old is pretty hard. I can play like I'm unafraid of the change. I'll find an adventure where all I need is the melody in my heart. But it's not
right, and that's Rome, Brina Kay on the Chris Top program. So how'd you like it? Did you hate it?
Dude, that is my favorite one now, and I'm like, for 3 reasons.
Dude,
like,
I think you're just saying that because you don't ever like songs
I have
that much.
3 reasons to prove it.
Okay.
Reason 1, it was like, again, the same as the last time where everything just worked, and your voice was on fleek, and the instruments like basically kissed your voice, and I love that. And the harmonies were good, and like the background vocals and stuff.
She wasn't pitchy or anything?
No. And number 2, like I said, I had 3 reasons, but now I can only remember 2 of them. The second reason was because of the lyrics, and because like it resonates with me right now. Because like in boxing and stuff, like it's hard because like I've never done it before, and I'm like, oh man, I don't have a punch right, this, that, but I'm like, I'm gonna get there.
Yeah. I like it because it's relatable.
Yeah.
And catchy. It's like a song that can get stuck in my head.
I think the 3 reasons.
Like when
kinda
Brina leaves,
melted
I'm going to
into
listen to it again, and it's just going to get stuck in my head for like 2 or 3 days.
That's the goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is catchy.
And then I'll be like, yeah, get out of my head. And then I'll play it again.
I'm so downloading it.
Speaking of downloading, like, what's the best way to get your music?
I'm on all of the streaming platforms, so Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, pretty much anywhere they stream it, you can find me.
So it'd be good, like, if I went out and bought it on iTunes and then, like, streamed it on Spotify all day long.
Yeah,
That'd be
that's like a great plan.
The best plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fund
So-
the next one.
So what's the most fun for you? Recording a new song or recording a video for that song?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think they're really fun for different reasons. I really like the recording process just because I like the creative part of, like, I almost enjoy doing the background stuff more than I enjoy doing the lead. Like, I like thinking,
Oh, really?
what kind of ahs and stuff can I throw in here? What little thing? Because I think those are the little details that kind of make things unique and cool. So Mike and I spend a lot of time on trying to think of creative harmonies, like not always going for the third, or like how can we make this weird but still cool.
I love it. Yeah.
And I love like background. He always has to tell me like we have to turn the backgrounds down, like they need to hear the song. And I'm just like, but that is so fun. But I mean, I filmed 2 music videos recently. One of them was in downtown Chicago, and like,
oh, cool.
that was so fun too. So it's hard, but I think I'd have to go with the recording just because I get to. It's like rewriting the song, like writing more music. So it's fun.
Is it hard doing? Do you feel silly when you do the videos when you're lip syncing to your song, like for that, or because I always felt like I would feel silly.
Yeah, I feel like I would too. I'd be like
all these people dancing around, you're just moving your mouth. I mean, I guess I don't know how it works. Yeah.
Yeah, well, when I do it, I actually will still sing because I want it to look
like you're singing.
Do you
like
sing your
real.
best, or is it kind of crappy when you do it?
I'm sure it's not amazing, especially since if we're doing it, like we were there for 2 whole full days.
Yeah.
And it's kind of more about like the visual, so I'm not concentrating on like, oh, I have to have perfect picture right now
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But no, there's definitely, we were actually like in the middle of Wrigleyville when like a game had just gone up, so it was just like people everywhere. Just got out of a baseball game, so like I was definitely feeling like a little like kind of feeling silly. But then we did some of me like just strutting down the street, and I was just like walking, like feeling
Like,
myself,
what?
Like the Bee Gees and Staying Alive, maybe?
yeah, maybe. Like
Lit, bro.
it was pretty cool. I was feeling it. So yeah, it's fun. But I like to still sing just because I want it to look. You know, obviously they know I'm not like singing it live there, but I always think back to like how they filmed Les Mis and they're all really singing, and it just adds to it.
Dude, I love
all part of the
Les Mis.
experience.
We should bond over Les Mis when the show's over because that's one of my favorites too.
He went and said yesterday that he didn't like Les Mis.
What?
I just didn't really care that much for the movie.
How the heck, though?
I like Grease.
Did you not?
Grease is fun.
I don't understand, though, but you like stories like that.
Yeah.
How did you not like Les Mis?
I don't know. I don't know.
Hugh Jackman.
I know. He's
Anne
like really cool
Hathaway.
as Wolverine.
But he got redemption.
Redemption. Okay, so Brina, how's the love life?
Now, before I answer this question, I have to respectfully ask you. You asked the male artists you have on the show the same question, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I asked everybody this
Just
question.
making sure. It's definitely not a priority right
Thank
now.
you for keeping him in check.
Yeah, just gotta make sure. But you know, I'm definitely open to it, obviously, but it's not a priority at this moment. I'm kind of focusing on music and.
So
all
that's
that
your
kind of
first
thing.
love, and that's why you came to Nashville.
Yep, and it's
Yeah.
you know it's kind of freeing to realize that because I know that like I could get into a relationship or whatever, and it could go horribly wrong, and I'll just be like, I still got what gets me going. So
I like that because like when I was growing up, like a lot of my friends and like me included, we were like all about boys. And my one friend, she ended up becoming a lawyer, but she didn't start dating until she like got out of school and like got a job and stuff. And she's just now starting to date. And I thought, you know, that's really cool.
Now,
So,
would you
props to
date a musician or would you stay away from musicians?
I'm open. You know, I think it could work either way. I think when I think about myself and like the things that I need, like I need someone who's going to balance me out. So I don't know if another like artist who's just as like passionate and kind of like outgoing as me is going to be that balance, but you never know. I'm
never
never
know.
going to like shoot anything down just because they're a musician, so like that's a no. Like,
A really good way. A really good way. I don't know if you're a Harry Potter fan.
Oh, yeah.
But like a really good way to tell if somebody's gonna mix with you or clash with you is to ask them what their house is. And some houses work better with other houses, and a lot of times like you shouldn't be in the same house as them because like I think that Gryffindor and Hufflepuff work really well.
You're being
together.
legit right now. This is
Yeah.
like for real. Okay.
I think Gryffindor and Hufflepuff work really well together, but two Gryffindors couldn't be in the same house with each other, and I think two Hufflepuffs.
I don't even know what's
maybe
going on right
could,
now. I have no
But
idea.
like two Slytherins, no, that would be lying to see. You
yeah.
gotta
Will they
ask
be
them what their
competing
house
with
is.
each other?
Yeah. What house are you?
I took the official test
Yes,
on like
yes.
Pottermore.
So many people have taken this test, and I don't
And
even know.
I got Hufflepuff, and I was honestly surprised
Okay.
that I did. I thought I always saw
I have
myself
a
as
lot
more
of
of a
Hufflepuff
Gryffindor,
friends.
but
I'm a
I
Gryffindor.
don't know. But yeah,
Hey.
but I was when I was a kid like obsessed with Harry Potter. Like my mom would take me to like the midnight, like when they're releasing the new book. Like
Did you
so
dress up?
I don't know if I dressed up. Maybe I don't remember dressing up, but it could have happened. I definitely like that's the type of person I would be. I was a theater
Heck
kid,
yeah.
so like
Yeah.
costumes or I love that stuff.
Do you miss theater?
Yeah, but I think like I was actually a theater major for a semester. It was like directing management track, but you have to be really good at theater. Like it's a lot, and how long those shows run and stuff like that. I don't
Plus
know.
rehearsals
I just think
and
I just think
everything.
music is kind of definitely more where I belong. But I'd love to be in like another show or musical if I have the time or chance. Like I'm definitely not opposed to it. But I think if I had to choose, like
You
Well, it's
could
kind of where
be
the
like-
videos come into play, right? Because I mean,
Yeah.
you're still getting a chance to act and do that, and there'd always be maybe a shot at like a musical on Broadway or something later on. I mean, I'm sure you'd probably drop what you were doing for a little while to do that.
oh
right?
yeah,
Or-
that'd be pretty
I
awesome.
can see
Yeah.
you being like Cosette or something.
Ooh.
Like you would do
fun.
something in Les Mis.
What? I'm just being honest.
Can't believe it. It breaks my heart.
I'm sorry. I like Mamma Mia. Mamma Mia's fun. I saw that live at
It's not
TPAC.
Les Mis, bro. Do you like Phantom of the Opera, bro?
Yes,
Okay,
I
there
do.
we go. All right,
Yeah.
so we can. We're not
The
divorcing
Mizraj
now.
is not my thing. I don't. Maybe
Something a
maybe
little
sometime.
more happy, right?
I guess so. It just kind of drug on for me.
Dude.
What?
You're making yourself a doghouse. I ain't even gonna buy you a doghouse. You gotta make it your own.
Okay, whatever. Okay, so we need to get on because I want to try to get all. She gave us 4 songs. I'm gonna try to get them all in. So
All in.
all in,
All in.
all in. So
Sounds like a song title.
It
It does.
All
Maybe.
in.
Yeah. Give me props if you make a song.
Oh, for sure.
Give them 10 cents on the dollar.
Okay, so this one's called Heat of the Moment. So is this something that you wrote by yourself, or is this co-write, or what's going on here?
This was another co-write with my producer. I kind of come up with the idea. Well, we came up with it kind of together too, but this one was cool because we started out with instrumentation first and building that before the lyrics. And usually I do things the other way around. So we went into it just thinking about Chicago in the summertime, because for those of you guys who don't know, it gets very cold there in the winter and it's not fun. So when the summer rolls around, we embrace it with everything that we have. And so that was kind of the idea that started out, and then we kind of morphed into this like romance kind of storyline.
Yeah.
So it's really, when you come down to it, just a song about the weather and the people in Chicago, but it turned into this cool storyline, so it was
Yeah.
really fun.
Okay, nice. Have you adjusted to our weather since you've been here?
Yeah, I think the allergies is the main thing that...
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the humidity.
That was hard.
Yeah.
I mean, the humidity, not so much, because it gets humid in the summer. It's not as hot all the time.
Right.
But I'm definitely more of like a summer person than a winter person, so I didn't mind that. But the allergies kind of punched me in the face when I got
Right.
here. I was like, oh, God.
I guess it's the trade-off, because you can still almost get away with shorts most of the year. But then you're just sneezing and
You
coughing.
don't have polar vortex.
Yeah.
And, like, colder than Alaska is.
Right.
Cold days instead of snow days. It's just, like, too cold to stand outside.
Yep. Okay, so if you just tuned in, okay, let me just make sure I get this straight. So you might be listening to an archive show on iHeartRadio or Spotify or Stitcher or someplace like that, and however you listen, we certainly appreciate it. But if you ever want to listen live, you can go to christopprogram.com. You can ask us questions on the Facebook chat. If you have anything for Brina, you can go ahead and ask us now, and we can make sure we pass that on to her. But we do appreciate all of you that listen. We don't take any of you for granted. We never, ever, ever will. And I do want to thank Magnolia Emporium, because if it wasn't for Randy over at Magnolia Emporium, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of the stuff that we do, like especially at CMA Fest and the whole awards ceremony and the T-shirts and just a lot of stuff. But Magnolia Emporium, they help us out so much, and we love them to death. Don't you love Randy?
I love Randy.
Yeah,
I love Randy so much.
Yeah. Every time we do the show, we've got pictures of him up in the studio, and I always see it. It's like he's with us.
He is.
It's kind of creepy.
I
I don't know. Okay, so if you just tuned in, we've got Brina Kay on the show, and this is called Heat of the Moment.
Oh, yeah.
Right here on the Chris Top program.
We've been low, we've been cold, we've been frozen. Yeah, we've been free by the heat of the moment. It starts when we wake up, hot until the late night. Damn right, like the city streets in the sunshine. So fine, take me out so you can take me
This is the Chris Top program. So,
God, bro.
heat of the moment.
Oh,
What about it?
everything on here is good. Like, I liked that song. I think it's hard to say it was my least favorite because it was
Are
so
you just
good.
being like super nice today, or are you like?
No, I legit think it is. Like, there are like
Drugged
maybe
up or
a
something?
few people that I feel this way about, but like everything you just put out there is freaking good.
Thanks. That means a lot.
It like is just so sweet to my ears to hear this, and I'm just like, ah!
So you think it was a good move for Brina to come to Nashville?
It was a great move. That was like the best choice you ever made.
Aw.
Like, dude, I'm such a fan.
How did your parents feel about what you were doing? Did they, since you got you've got your degree, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So were they wanting you to get a real job, or were they okay with you coming to Nashville?
No, they've always been very supportive, and I think they've
Good.
seen me throughout my life, like, have big goals and achieve them, whether it was in sports or academics or extracurriculars or just anything I wanted to learn and do. Like, one day I was like, I want to be on the dance team, so I'm going to figure out how to dance, and it worked out. So I
That's
think
cool.
I have a proven track record of, having goals and doing what it takes to achieve them. So by the time I get to something like this, they would be supportive no matter what, even if they didn't believe that I could do it. But I think they see it in me that
Yeah.
I have the drive and
I love that you're always like chasing the next goal. Like, that is such a cool thing.
So
to
everything
me.
that you've done's kind of got you in line for the next thing, I guess. Like the dance and the acting and all that, it's all kind of coming into play now, and you're able to use all that experience.
yeah, I'd say I definitely haven't had the conventional storyline of the songwriter in Nashville. Like, I was involved in a lot of different things. I always did singing and stuff when I was little, and then I kind of got away from it in high school with sports and cheerleading. But those kinds of things, that competitive drive, actually recently realized that I'm kind of good with rhythms and lyrics, and I think the cheerleading played into that, and going to college, learning marketing, that has helped me too, and the theater. And so I think all of that, this was my journey. It was meant to be this way. I think if I would have came when I was younger, I wouldn't have been ready. So I think
I'm
everything happens for a
excited.
reason, and
I'm
happy
so
about it.
excited for you. Like,
So what do you think's
This
more
is so
important
great.
when you come to Nashville? I mean, do you think it's more important to be super talented, or do you think it's more important to be super good at business?
I would definitely say business. I think you could be the most talented person out there, but if you don't know how to market yourself, if nobody knows who you are, they're not going to know how talented you are. And I also think the phrase hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. If you're not the most talented person in the room, but you're going out there, you're meeting people every day, you're getting your name in front of people, to me, what I've seen and what I've experienced, that's a person that's going to succeed. Talent definitely helps, for sure. And it's great to have talent.
There's
but-
always going to be somebody that's more talented.
Yes, exactly. But talent can only do so much on its own. You need the work ethic, and you need the business sense, and you need to get in front of people so they can see your talent.
and know who you are and your personality, so they can get behind you and all that good stuff.
Yeah, especially if people can relate to you, or they think you're funny. There's a lot of different reasons why people would be fans, just beyond you can hit the highest note. So
Yeah, I think I'm a fan more so. I mean, you're talented. You're very talented. But I love your personality and just your attitude, and I like the fact that the stuff that you do is lyric driven and not just a fun beat. Because you've got the fun beats in there too, for sure. But I love the fact that you consider yourself a storyteller, and I think that's cool. Because I like being able to turn a song on and then being able to relate to it, or maybe I'm having a bad day and I feel like I could listen to your music and it could turn my day around in 3 minutes. Right?
that's awesome.
So, and I'm telling you the truth. It's easy for us to be nice when you're on the show, because if you weren't good, you wouldn't be on the show in the first place, for sure. So, I mean, you've got just as good a shot as anybody else. It's still like winning the lottery, though, like in Nashville, for sure. But, you've got the work ethic, and you've got, the determination, and you've already made it a year, so why not make it another 10 years, and get even better, right? Mm-hmm. Plus, you got to make it so we can get our backstage passes.
Of course.
I mean, don't let us down. Don't let me down. All right?
That's, and anytime someone, I've had people ask me for autographs, and that only motivates me more. It's I'm going to make this napkin, worth something you could frame it on your wall, like you guys already have.
Right.
And, so that's, every little bit of support, kind of fuels the engine, so.
Sure. If you could have any superhero power, what would you pick?
Well, I know you're not going to like this answer because I've listened to your
Oh,
shows.
she's gonna say. She knows that she's gonna say it anyway.
I am. But I would definitely pick flying just because.
Oh my god!
We go back.
Okay, look. It makes sense for her though because of
Yes.
Horizon.
Yes. We go back to, my core values and freedom being one of them. Like, just being able to take off and soar the skies like a bird.
It's not just because she wants to go somewhere quickly. It's because she wants to be up.
It's the freedom aspect of it.
You know what? I have a confession to make.
Yeah.
It's not really that bad of a superpower. I mean, I think it's a cool superpower.
Yeah.
I just hear it so many times that I'm like,
Right.
can you not? But at this point, it's almost like a gimmick that I have to put on
Yeah.
that I have to be angry
But with
about
Brina,
it.
she's not just saying it just because it's the first thing that came to her mind.
Yeah, it's like you thought
She's-
about it. You're like,
Yeah.
I don't know, but
I was thinking, I heard that. I was like, maybe I should change it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm Brina Kay. I'm true to myself. And I want to be able to fly through the sky. And
She's keeping you in check.
yeah.
too.
Okay. You know what? I like that. I like it. This is the first time that I'll say it.
You're not
but
going to try to box
I
her or
like it.
anything today, are you? Because, that'd be
Oh,
bad.
gosh.
It'd be bad,
I keep
for
it
our
in the ring.
reputation.
Bruh, I keep it in the ring. But yeah, I love it. I can get with it. So it's cool.
If you had 5 minutes to sit down and have a cup of coffee with anybody, this could be anybody throughout history, living, dead, somebody you knew, somebody you didn't know, who would it be?
That's definitely a hard one. I just really thought about a lot of different people. But I think I would have to do Steve Irwin.
Okay.
He was my hero
The
growing
crocodile
up.
hunter.
Yes.
Yeah.
'Cause
That's so cool.
I always thought, my family, I was obsessed with that show. And, I wanted to, before I got into music and stuff, I wanted to, catch crocodiles and, release them back. And I knew about the jaw ropes, the top jaw rope and everything and how to do it. So, that was so hard for me as a kid. I really liked him. And, he had just such a passion and such an energy about him that I think was amazing. So I think he would have been an incredible person to meet and talk to. And I wish I would have gotten the chance.
Yeah, what a cool answer. I mean, most people that we have on the show are going to pick famous other songwriters or things like. But I like the fact you picked him because it's not that it's the same field that you're in, but I mean it's his passion and,
Yeah, dude.
and stuff like that, and that translates to anything that you do. I mean, it doesn't matter what
You
your
gotta
job
have
is.
passion.
Yeah, that's why I like having these independent artists on the show because it's like Brina. We've had artists that have come from all over the world to Nashville. Everything they have, they throw it in the back of their trunk. Mm-hmm. They show up here in the toughest place in the world to make it in music, and they try to survive
Because they
and
choose freedom over security.
there you go. And it's so inspiring for me every time we have somebody like Brina on the show. They can tell us these stories and the behind the scenes stuff on the music and some of the crap they've been through. It's inspiring.
It is.
for me. Yeah. I got off on a tangent.
It's okay. You're Chris
Good
Top.
tangent.
Yeah,
It's your show. You can.
That's
do what you
true. That's true. Okay, so BrinaKay.com,
BrinaKayMusic.com.
BrinaKayMusic.com. It's BrinaKay, music.com. And then they can go there and get all your links to everything.
Yes.
And
my blog.
And your mailing list is important.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how often do you update your blog?
I try to do it weekly. Sometimes
Yeah.
my life gets a little crazy. I actually have a backlog of thoughts because basically I just write my thoughts when I can and then kind of formulate it into a somewhat readable thing. It's not. I've always been very good at my language arts classes. Gotten written A+ essays. That's not what this is. This is just a day in the life.
It's a
my
blog.
random
It
thoughts.
doesn't
Yeah.
have to be grammatically correct.
Yeah. So, but that's just kind of my real time feelings, emotions, things I'm going through, my story, and it's for fans, and it's also for other people who are thinking, hey, maybe I should move to Nashville. What when I came here, it'd be nice to hear other people's experiences and maybe do this or don't do that, so other artists can learn from my mistakes and successes.
There you go.
Dude,
She's got her together.
you're the boss.
Yeah, yeah. So we're actually out of time, but we're going to go ahead and play this other song too. Is that okay with you? Do you
Yeah, it
mind
works.
sticking around just a little longer?
For sure.
Okay, and this one's called "I'll Write." And you said this was one that you did a while back.
Yeah, so this is one. It was the summer before I moved here, and so being like the language arts nerd that I am, I love like metaphors and stuff like that. So the I'll write is actually like a double meaning, like I will go write songs. But it's also kind of about, forgiveness and moving on and kind of not letting, the pain of your past dictate your future and kind of using forgiveness as an avenue to break away from that.
And did this come from like a personal experience, or is this?
Yeah, it's just a song about me and kind of like a transformation that I had in my life and decisions that I've made to create the life that I wanted.
Okay. All right. And okay, this is Brina Kay. All right, on the Chris Top program, and I just hit the wrong button. Here we go.
I could stay angry, relive bad memories. I could go running in circles round all of the ways that you've wronged me. Oh, but what good would that be? I'll never hear sorry. And cursing your name in the flames, it won't change the way you just don't want me. So I need to write a new end to that story. Start breaking away from these chains tonight. So I hope you're doing alright, having the time of your life. I hope you're growing and learning and changing, and all of it's going just fine. Yeah, I hope you're doing alright, alright. Hope you're doing alright. I could keep crying, keep on hopelessly trying. I could stay up all night trying to find a reason why you won't stop lying. Oh, but what good would that be? I still won't end up happy. When I'm stuck in this cycle, this spiral, I'm drowning down and thinking you'd save me. No, I need to write a new end to that story. And so as I turn another page tonight, I hope you're doing alright, having the time of your life. I hope you're growing and learning and changing, and all of it's going just fine. Yeah, I hope you're doing alright, alright. Hope you're doing alright. Yeah, I hope you're doing alright, alright. Hope you're doing alright. And it can be hard to believe some days that I'm wishing you well, but page by page, I'm finding peace now, chasing my dreams now. I'd held on far too long and that was wrong, but now you're gone and I can release now. I'll take you as a blessing, 'cause you taught me some lessons. And since I've grown stronger, I know I'm no longer the person I have been. When I open my eyes to the skies of a new morning, lifting my pen from your page for the very last time, it turns out I'm doing alright, having the time of my life. I'm moving on, yeah, I'm learning and changing, and all of it's going just fine. Yeah, turns out I'm doing alright, alright. I'm doing alright. Yeah, turns out I'm doing alright, alright. I'm doing alright.
You know, Brina, I think you were because we were talking about this song while it was playing. I think you're probably maybe a little too hard on yourself, because I think it's a beautiful song. It's not my favorite out of the four, but I think it's a really pretty song, and it's cool knowing that was your first one. And we talked about this if you were watching Facebook Live, but how you've evolved and how Nashville's pushed you and made you a better, I guess, songwriter, performer, artist in general. Yeah, so it's cool to see that evolution. Not that you sucked, before, because you were definitely good, but it's made you better, and there's always room for improvement with anybody.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Did you like it? Did you hate it?
Your review was so beautiful. I don't want to ruin it.
What, did you not like it at all?
I didn't really like it.
She wants to know.
I didn't like it. Lyrically, I loved it. Like, the lyrics were great, but, like, I don't know if it was the way it was produced, because, like, before, like I mentioned, I love how, like, the instruments and your voice kind of lined up, but in this one, for me, it almost felt like they were attacking each other.
Gotcha.
And I don't know if that makes sense, but I loved the other stuff, like, 100% more. And this is a good starting point, but it just wasn't my favorite for me.
But she's evolved and she's grown. Yeah, and she's like a superstar.
Heck yeah, she is.
When I see her,
fangirling, because, like, your stuff is, like, so freaking great. And I'm like, everything that you produce now is, like, gold nuggets.
See, it's so hard for me, like, when I meet, people like you, like at CMA Fest, and I've never had you on the show or listened to any of your stuff, it's like, oh, you're just a normal person, But then when I hear your stuff, it's like,
oh, snap.
Yeah, there's something a little different. I mean, you kind of take on that persona of a star in my eyes. And, and I like I said before, I think you've got just as good a shot as anybody.
Dude, I'm so excited for your future. Like, I can't say that enough.
Yeah. What kind of advice would you give, a little boy or a little girl that comes up to you after a show and says, hey, I want to do what you're doing?
First of all, I'd say keep on dreaming and never give up. Those are kind of the cliches, but, they're important.
It's true. Yeah.
And then I think from an artist perspective, a lesson that I've learned really, we've grown up in reality shows and stuff like that, but I've learned it's much more beneficial to not see other artists as competition and to collaborate as much as possible. And I think you can get more out of giving. So, like, if you're genuinely supportive of another artist, not supportive just so you can get something out of it, but just, like, genuinely build relationships and are helpful to people, like, you have an opportunity, like, oh, this would be a great opportunity for you, then, you're going to get opportunities in return. And just being genuine, staying true to yourself, and keeping at it. Like, get there or die trying.
Nice. I'm so excited to see where you go. And one of the things that I love about you is just you're genuine and you're a very kind person. And I think that's going to take you a lot further than even the talent or the business sense. I hope. Yeah. I like to think that, though. Sometimes I think I'm wrong, but I don't know.
You never know.
But I like that, and I love that about you. And I think that your fans and people that follow you on social media and stuff like that are gonna pick up on that and know that for sure. So. Okay, are we good?
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah.
All
right. So
I think it was a success.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was lit, bro. This was one of my favorite shows.
Really?
Yay.
Yeah.
I feel good about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I'm gonna listen to your music on repeat now.
Yes, there we go.
yeah. Okay, so I guess, are you ready to take us out? Are we
ready
done?
to take us out.
Okay.
All right. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. Thank you for listening to the Chris Top program. There are a million, bajillion, quadrillion things you could be doing right now, but you chose to listen to us. And that's pretty cool, I guess. So until we broadcast again, please remember this. Life is good, and we're gone.
The Chris Top program, proudly heard by over 3 listeners worldwide.
You can either